Hey everyone, it's me again, and I'm going to go over another piece of my collection. What we have here is a 35 by 228 millimeter steel case used by the Oerlikon twin 35 millimeter guns, and there are some more modern rounds of ammunition, like the ahead air bursting ammunition that's used by some sea whizzes on modern day naval ships. Anyways, just to start off, this silver is not native to the case. This was painted on for reasons unknown when I bought it. Eventually I'd like to get a newer and nicer case, preferably with a projectile in it. But for the price I got it at, it's pretty good and I like it. So this is primarily an anti-aircraft round. It was produced by Oerlikon, which is a German company that partnered with Rheinmetall, and it's still being used right now. It's been used in a couple wars, and it's currently being used in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's a relatively large round, if you can't tell, by my hand. It is, a pretty tall cannon shell, and it's steel cased for increased chamber pressures, I believe. And well, here's the head stamp for you. If you can see the OE, it stands for Oerlikon. It's a little rusty, and see this little clip here, where I think the extractor pulled it out, and even though this is a steel case, managed to dent it. So this one was fired, I would say, if my research is correct, 1977 is when this was produced. So anyways, a little bit of history behind these rounds. Well, this does have before I start, this does have a screw-in primer, even though it's relatively small. As you can see there's the screw-in primer in very good condition. And this was supposed to be a round that was in between the famous Bofors 40mm round and the 20mm round. So it's in between there in terms of ballistics and size. I have 20mm and 40mm as well, just for size comparison. How this was supposed to be an interim between the 40mm round. This is a 40mm cartridge, 40 by 311, that I will be going over in the future. And that's just to give you an idea. And this is a 20mm round. So as you can see, it was meant to be in between. This was used in the Falklands War by the Argentinians. They used it to try and shoot down British jets with some effect. And Oerlikon has also tested it out for anti-armor purposes. I actually saw a demonstration video where they fired 35mm anti-aircraft gun, the twin cannons, at a M60 Patton tank at the back of the turret, and they managed to penetrate it with APFSDS rounds. And there's a couple self-propelled artillery pieces. There's the German Gepard that came out during the Cold War. I believe is still being used by some countries. It has twin barrels and is radar guided and is fires against jets and can be used against ground targets in a heavy suppression role. Overall, I think it's really interesting. I like the idea of having something between a 20mm and a 40mm, even though projectiles are slowly being phased out of very modern militaries in terms of anti-aircraft use. But where the 35mm is finding its place in the future is with a new Oerlikon Sea Whiz, where it's a single barrel, but it fires new ammunition called Ahead, and I don't remember what Ahead is an acronym for. However, there's a computer device at the end of the muzzle, and it measures the individual feet per second for each projectile as it leaves the barrel, and does an algorithm with the distance of the thing it's trying to shoot down, and the round will be programmed as soon as it leaves the barrel to airburst at a certain time to get the maximum effect against the airborne target. So there you have it. I got this in Spain at the same store where I got my 77mm, if you have seen that video previously. This is a powerful round. If you can I always try and get a good size comparison for you guys when I'm doing videos, because it can be hard with a camera. So I mean, here it is in comparison to my hands. It is a rather large round. It is very heavy because it's made out of steel. And for those of you who are getting into collecting ordnance, almost all casings that are green are made by Oerlikon. So there you have it. I hope you learned something and enjoyed the video. Stay subscribed, and eventually I'll have all these reviewed, and well, I'll see you guys next time.